Hey guys, it's Avengel. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're flying an emergency med-flight job. Now, this is a scenery which I'll be including in the description. The guy who made it has made a bunch of these all around the area, and with Orbex's hospitals, helipads, you've got plenty of places to take people. So let's get on the way. We'll talk about it whilst we're going. We're taking off from Banning right now in California, just outside of LA and San Bernardino. We're taking off from Banning Municipal, which is Kilo Bravo November Golf. Make sure these are all switched on. Make sure my avionics is toggled. Pumps are on. And let's get our... No, wrong thing on. That's the one we want. Headsets on. Okay, dokie dokie. This is spooling whilst we do. We are heading out on I-10 eastbound, or the 10, to mile marker 110. We've got a woman in labour on the scene. CHP, California Highway Patrol, are already there, along with local fire. They want her medevaced out to the nearest hospital, which is going to be Foothill Presbyterian, hopefully in time. So we're going to see in just a second if that's the case. So make sure our systems are running up and good here. Power is go. We've got our route there. We've got a rough marker put out on generally where mile marker 110 is. So Banning Tower, November 864, Mike Bravo, taxi for departure, straight out medevac. Copy Banning Tower, clear departure straight out, pad 1. There we go, let's get ourselves lifted up. Yep, we've got our ATIS on there, we don't need that right now. We already got our weather beforehand. So we'll just head to the runway and we'll depart straight out on runway heading. We've been cleared straight out in a departure because we're a medevac flight. Typically, medevac helicopters will get cleared ahead of civilian traffic or GA traffic. So in this case, we're dipping. We're staged up here in our little scenario. And we're going to get out of Dodge ASAP. That's the highway next to us. We're pretty close to it, which is a major US highway, so it should provide us with ample access to various accident scenes. And there's a quarry up ahead, and that should be around mile marker 103. So it's a matter of following the highway east and looking for the railroad tracks which parallel it, which are just here. The highway being there just to its left. We're not going to fly too high for this job today. We're going to want to see where we're going, because we're relying on a mile marker report from CHP, which is giving us our general area. We have got grid cords, but we'll want to see them on the ground. Looks like the way station's backed up there. The chippies are having their fun with the trucks. Huge quarry here. Like I said, we're just outside of San Bernardino, just east of LA, and that whole area. There's a big quarry right there, right beside the highway and the train tracks. And what looks to be a massive mall, maybe, down there? That looks mall-y. That looks very mall-y. All the quarry facilities. Right, the road should kick around this direction. We should be heading out past the stuff out there. Got a hotel, casino here. Alright, so following the I-10, or the 10, this way. And we're looking for just after Whitewater. It's going to be our ballpark destination. The railroad should have reached up again to the highway. But it shouldn't be too hard for us to spot. We're coming up within about 5 miles of the general marker we've thrown ourselves here. We should be ballpark in the general vicinity. What's this saying for us? We're coming up on it, at least. Flying along here at about... probably about 1,000 feet above ground, realistically. Just trying to keep eyes on the deck there. Got a train on the tracks. You should see the emergency vehicles when we get close to the scene, but it should be after the second gulch we're looking for. So there should be a second river. This one running due north-south should be around Morongo. The wind farm there is a hazard for us. It's different kind of navigation in terms of a mission here because I'm actually able to find a ground location specifically, not an airport. And this is where helicopters really do excel in their job. We'll fly this side of the highway now, so I'm keeping it on pilot side so I can keep my eyes open. I see overpass. I see the scene. Okay, we've got our scene down there. Emergency light is visible. Okay, let's work out where we're landing here. They want us to land, I believe, from the briefing. We've got a mast there as well. That's wonderful. Okay, and there's a train stop because everyone wants to rubberneck this thing, including the train drivers. Cool. Okay, let's make my life real difficult, shall we? Mast there. This is where being a helicopter sucks. And power lines! Just because we want it to be extra hard. Okay, great. So we've got overhead gantries, power lines, radio antenna. This developer's an asshole. Because he's just made the most horrible possible HLZ you can imagine. Where am I going to stick this? No. Let's go this way. Yep, away. Keep my nose level here while I drop my power. I'm trying to work out where's going to be appropriate for me to bring it in. That's a power pole. Should be able to put it in next to the fire department pickup truck. Okay, let's spin her around here. Nice and gentle. That's guardrail. Nice. Okay, we're down. So we're not going to shut down, but we're going to let the guys go get her. Obviously, I haven't worked out how to get the actual medical interior in this one, which I'd really love to do. So they're going to go get Mama and get her loaded up into the aircraft, and we're going to make sure we are set for our return journey, which is going to be, make sure this is set here while they go grab her. And we're looking for 14 Charlie Lima. So I'm going to turn my head off real quick while I set this. One for Charlie Lima. Tills Presbyterian, there we go. Bingo, 59 nautical miles. Okay, we've got Mama on board. Got the medic back on board. Wonderful. Boys, love you and leave you, but we are out of here. Clear all around aircraft? Yes, we are. Okay, we are lifting. We have to clear the power lines to our front and that pillar to our right. Light bar there. Move to the side, shimmy a little bit up. Clear of obstructions. There's where the gurney is, the ambulance, and Mama's truck. And apparently every emergency vehicle in the entire state came out here, including chippies on their motorcycles, patrol cars, a fly car, ambo, engine crew turned up because they were bored. Right, let's do one, shall we? November 6 for Mike Bravo, Medflight. Direct, going to be foothold Presbyterian, patient on board. Now at this point, medic in the back would basically call ahead to Foothill, and they would report in the state of the patient they're delivering, basically, telling them exactly what condition we're bringing them in. She's in labour, so time is critical here, and it's going to be a fair trip to a decent maternity unit from this far out on the highway. And Banny would have a clinic, but it wouldn't be perfect. Let's just say there's a complication with the birth, which is why she has to get airlifted out. But it would also provide the best distance. But in classic American fashion, it's also the quickest way for your newborn child to be born into debt. You know, having to catch a $50,000 flight on Medflight, or a $20,000 trip. I'm pretty sure it's $20,000 based on what my AEMT friend in Tennessee mentioned their lifestyle helicopters cost per journey. But there you go. Okay, we're on direct course here. Everything's looking good. Looking good. Right, we'll be back with you when we're a little bit closer, because we are going... it's going to take a while, essentially, and I'm just flying here stick and rudder in the chopper. It says 30 minutes. So that could be quite a while, and I don't think you guys want to stay here for 30 minutes, so we'll see you once we're a little bit closer. Huzzah! So, this is whilst we're flying to the hospital, I thought I would grab a friend of mine. Now, this is my friend Alex, who is an AEMT himself in real life, in Tennessee, correct?
That's correct.
Yes, I'm not going to get more specific than that. We'll leave it at just Tennessee. Could be anywhere, literally anywhere. Either way, I thought we'd get a quick look at the scene, because as a jaded ground pounder, I thought you'd enjoy looking at the scene we have here down below us. Being that it is highly entertaining. I'm pretty sure I've got the right things. Am I even clicked on the right screen? I'm not clicked on the right screen. I'm now. So, what do we have? We have where I landed the helicopter. In the frickin' little mailbox that it is. There's a city bus. Not sure why. Love the joke sign, available space. There isn't any. So they've got the volunteer firefighters that rocked up in their pickup truck, as well as 2 engine units.
I can guarantee, from wherever they came, no matter if there was traffic or not, they stood on the federal queue from the moment they left their station to the moment they rocked up there.
We've got a city bus stopped watching, and a flatbed. Not sure why. Too small a flatbed for Mom's pickup. Some guy mowing the lawn.
Course.
And the entire train stopped in D-Bus too.
I'll guarantee the tractor's one of your volunteers. He was out doing something in the field and came along to help.
Yeah. And the fact only 2 chippies is actually genuinely surprising. You think they said 15 of them. What have we got here? We've got a paramedic car. That makes some sense. The ambulance is French, I'm pretty positive. I don't think California has sprinters.
So I can't speak for California. I know we have some sprinters in a couple different agencies in our area. Primarily, they're BLS or your hospital to hospital, hospital to dialysis, home to dialysis, transport vehicles. But they do run emergency calls from time to time. So, I mean, it is somewhat accurate that a sprinter would be on scene. It's plausible, yeah. Especially with a paramedic coming to assist. So that would make sense for that.
So let's talk about the whole concept of a lift in general with this, because here you've got a pregnant mother. Obviously, typically this is just a ground transport, not really a big deal, but tell me you've got a specific problem, you're calling in for the airlift, what's going on?
So I arrive on scene in this instance and we discover there's something wrong. Could be no-keel cord, so the cord's around the baby's neck. We're getting cord delivery first, placenta, previa, placenta, abrupta. Basically, something's wrong with the placenta, something's wrong with the cord. It's not going to be a just come on out, let me catch kind of birth. That instance, it's going to be mom's probably going to need an emergency C-section, and that is not something we can do on the side of the road. And there are a lot of small rural hospitals who may be able to do a regular birth, but are not equipped to do a more complicated birth. So in this case, side of the highway, middle of nowhere, helicopter's your fastest way to that highest level of care hospital. Calling for them, depending on which air service you get. For me, we have an offshoot of GMR, which is a multinational global corporation who owns various ambulance services and Medflight services and whatnot. Despite the fact that I live in Tennessee, their weather control, the person who authorizes them to fly...
He's laughed about this before.
...is in Houston, Texas. For those of you who are not Americans, we'll need to recognize the fact that that's over for me, 1,200
Let me
miles
simplify
away.
this. Yeah, let me simplify this. This is somebody calling for a helicopter in Edinburgh. The helicopter is flying from Glasgow, and the person who is dispatching it and handling its weather dispatching is in Seville, Spain.
Basically.
And that's actually closer.
While the rain in Spain may fall mostly on the plane, the clouds and wherever you're at may be 100,000 miles off, but there looks like there was one cloud on the radio, so the helicopter's not
radar,
coming.
Obviously, but yes. But no, the helicopter obviously would arrive, not necessarily shutting down the aircraft, obviously, for pickup in most cases, correct?
I've only had a helicopter shut down for us once, but it was because it was basically they could shut the rotors down without shutting the whole thing down.
Yeah, okay.
Rotor brakes, but it depends on the aircraft we get. My service operates two aircraft, which are the Euro style. You're a bit far off for me to see what the model you have is.
It's an AS350.
Okay, that is more of the
Squirrel.
Yeah, that's more of the style of our bells that we have.
Yeah.
We have.
I'm assuming you got the 406, the 407s for the bells.
Yeah.
The big
406s, I think.
Bells. Yeah.
Yeah, we have 4 of them, and then 2 of the Euro styles. The Euro styles are our ILS helicopters.
135s, I'm assuming, with a cage tail rotor.
Yeah, cage tail rotor.
135s.
They're ILS aircraft, so they actually fly more often than the bells do.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm thinking ALS.
He does ambulance on ground. He does not do air.
I do ambulance. Anyway, yes, they're the IFR aircraft, so they are able to localize and all that fun jazz. Whereas the bells, they can fly based on what you can see. That's why the weather's such a big dictator for them.
So what I was actually kind of eyeballing the price for this. What would a price be for a lift? It's about $20,000, correct?
50.
50? Okay, I was actually there because I said 50 or 20. I wasn't sure. So,
it's a good shot towards 50. Yeah. But one of the things that is offered by various agencies in my area is what they call helicopter insurance. Because there are some counties in my region that have no hospital, and the nearest hospital is 45 minutes away, and the nearest well-equipped hospital might be an hour and a half.
Yeah.
They're going to use the hospital a lot for simple things such as appendicitis or a simple broken bone, whereas we might transport it because we can get to a hospital in a reasonable 30 and 45 minutes. Exactly. The helicopter is going to be faster than an ambulance transport 9 times out of 10 there. So these people can go out and spend a few $100 a year and get this helicopter insurance, in which case the flight is that few $100 a year plus a premium. Again, American insurance, it's nonsensical.
Yeah, that's better value than American Airlines, to be fair, for a flight, so we'll go with that.
Yes.
One final question before I let you go. Keeping hold of it for quite a while for this one. But it's nice to be able to have an expert in the field for something I do for one of these adventure videos, so it's useful to have. But obviously, you said the local fire guys are typically the ones handling the LZ control?
Typically, we don't, though I have training on LZ control, among a couple of different other things. It doesn't make sense for me to be stuck controlling the helicopter in this sense when a lot of the times we're at a scene, because our helicopter is not equipped to vertical lift someone out. So a lot of times if our patient is in the backwoods because they crashed their mountain bike, or
you got to get them somewhere clear first.
We got to get them to an LZ. So a lot of times we have to get them in the truck, get 3 or 4 minutes down the road to an LZ point, which is a school football field, a church parking lot, something like that, a big open space for the helicopter to land. So the fire units will typically go there as we're getting the patient in the ambulance. We're getting our treatment started. They go there, they get the LZ ready, they coordinate with the helicopter on the radio, and then as we're inbound, the helicopter patches into us. We give them report. That way everybody's ready. The moment we get on scene, the helicopter's coming in for a landing or a few minutes out, and we can get that transition pretty quickly. It still usually takes about 10 minutes or so on scene with the helicopter crew going over everything.
Well, it's wonderful to actually get some insight from someone who's worked with these things in the real world. Thank you very much for joining me, Alex, for this one.
No problem, and have a safe flight to that hospital.
we make it future tense, past tense. I recorded this afterwards, so technically past tense. We did make it, but will we?
Oh, good.
You'll never know.
You'll have to watch to find out.
Okay, so we're over the 210 right now. We're a lot further to the north than we were, considerably closer in fact. The number of the quarries have been filled in there, and we've got an airport to our south. We start descending now. Presbyterian Memorial, Foothills Presbyterian should be just across to our front, as I calculate. And I'm pretty sure, if my math doth serve me, that's me diving. I shouldn't be diving. It's typically bad for one's health. I'm pretty sure that makes that airport cable, maybe? Right, eyes on the prize. We're focusing on where we're meant to be going. We should be along the 210 here. As I'm flying like an absolute moron right now while I'm looking at maps at the same time as flying a helicopter. This is why air crews have multiple people, you know, because flying's hard when there's one of you. And navigating an unfamiliar city as well. So we'll stick to the 210 up here, heading west towards LA. And we should get the right destination. It's been about 25 minutes so far, and we're nearly on track here. We're just to the west of San Bernardino. Shouldn't be horribly far away. In fact, looking at our old GPS, we are 3 minutes out. So we'll stay on track along the 210 and we should be good. No more airspace violation at this stage of the flight. A lot of reservoirs. All of California's which are now kind of full after the hurricane. So, you know, pick and choose which weather you prefer. I must say, California must have had a really difficult time with the hurricane that hit, of course. They don't have Waffle House, which makes a Waffle House index incredibly difficult to measure. Florida doesn't understand how to measure a hurricane unless it's in the Waffle House index, which the last one they had in Florida, for many of my friends out in the Peach State, well, it got to 1, maybe 1.5 on the Waffle House index, so they got pretty lucky. Pretty sure they all stayed open. Right, we're on track here. It should be in this nook up ahead on the right. So we'll deviate from the 210 here. We'll head towards the hills. We should be coming up on the hospital very shortly to deliver Mom and her new baby to the specialist unit. I'm pretending there's a specialist unit at Foothills Presbyterian. There probably isn't. For the sake of this game, there is. We'll go with that. That is the only logic we need for this, because it's a video game, and I said so. And it's the nearest add-on hospital pad I had, and I wanted to use an add-on hospital pad, so sue me. The idea of flying a specific mission is way more fun to me. Let's stabilize this in level flight, so I'm not having to wrestle the controls. I've said it before, I'll say it again, but discovering rotor trim has been the big aha moment for me when it comes to a helicopter rotary wing aviation. Is this a hospital down here? That looks like a high school or a college. I think that's too close. It's got, yeah, sports facilities. That looks like a college. That's too big to be a high school, unless that is one hell of a high school. Could be college campus related. That is big. Yeah, that's outdoor pool facilities. Yeah, that feels big. Okay, so it should be in front of us somewhere coming up. Where are you? It might be ahead of me. We are bang on top of it, so let's get turned around and locate. Sorry, Mum, you're going to get a little shaken and stirred while we look for the hospital for you. Should be down there somewhere. And I have no idea where, to be precise. That looks like hospital campus there. I want to say it looks like a hospital there. It looks like there was hospital-y buildings in its entire area. What was that? That looks paddish. There's our pad. There's our pad. There we are. Okay, let's get the nose brought up. Let's bring her down. Wind should be from the north, so we want to approach from the south here. Bring my nose up. Stabilize the aircraft. Okay. Bringing her in. This is the tricky part for me still. That's a tree below me. I need to slow down my descent. And we're going to swing the door to the exit ramp on touchdown. So we'll spin it around this way. There we go. And we are good to go. So let's shut down. The aircraft's engine, and we should be good to go. We'll offload Mum, and we are sorted. When I can find the door, that is. Well, that is our little mission today complete here at Foothills Presbyterian. We found it in the end, and it wasn't too bad, and that's mostly on the helipad, right? Yeah. I'm getting better. It takes some practice, but I'm working on it. Certainly an enjoyable little flight for us to do, and a good little mission, because flight missions is actually a ton of fun. Really adds to the immersion level of what you can do in this sim, and I can't wait for 2024 coming with actual missions and helicopters for that, because it'll make things really cool. Fixed wing and rotary. I'm starting to find love for both. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you all very soon. Bye!